Oh, good morning, America. Ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing out there? You are witness now. Myself, Emos the Witness, episode 2. We back, y'all. The F.I.L.L Show. Yes, right. F.I.L.L Show. The fuck I look like, right? Because it's been a crazy year. I'm here, Wave 1 Radio Studios, downtown Market Street, Indianapolis, Indiana. You can catch me every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. Right here, baby. Wave 1 Radio, YouTube, Facebook. Hit that subscribe button. Like my page. I'm getting used to this. I'm getting used to the social media, how it goes. How it's supposed to operate. Hey, Malik, you go ahead and cut that music, baby. Thank you. Put the shout out to my producers, Wyatt and Malik, the hardest working individuals in the Midwest. Maybe not Malik, though. He just walked in like 20 minutes ago. But anyway. But as I said, how you doing? It's episode 2 of the F.I.L.L Show. I'm your host, Emos the Witness. Welcome. Offering you a fresh new political perspective on this crazy crazy world we live in, this crazy country we live in, United States. So, it's a fresh new political perspective on what the hell's been going on the last 4 years, 2020 election, the Trump presidency, right? Man, what's going on, right? It's 2020. We're here. We got an election that was like 2 years ago, or 2 months ago, right? Still going on. We're still waiting to see who's going to be our next leader, or we will keep our incumbent. What do you think? What do you want? Do you care anymore? Are you frustrated? Are you just over it? You're just sick of it? You add that plus COVID. You're at home, can't do much, right? Well, we're here to find out the truth, right? We're here to seek out the truth. I'm your guide. I'm Emos the Witness. And we're going to tackle all these issues we've been experiencing the last 4 years. The voter integrity is a big thing right now. You know, people want Biden in office. People want Trump to stay in office. But the thing about it is, man, we need to make sure that our country is stable, right? We need to make sure that our voter integrity is intact going forward. A lot of accusations out there, right? We're going to get into it, but we got to protect. I'm tired of, that's why I'm here. We're not getting the news the way we should get it. We have new perspectives on what's going on in this world. We have mainstream media. We have social media. You can get your news from anywhere. The thing about it is we have people with agendas spreading information, spreading news to you, and you don't know what's truth, right? You're trying to figure out, you're trying to sort through who's telling you the facts as they really are, or who's spinning and selling you shit, right? And you're just tired of it. Because like I said, you live your life every day working, taking care of your family, paying your bills, and doing what you love. You're just hoping that your leaders are doing right by you because you elected them, right? But we all know this last 4 years has been a headache. We see a bunch of rotten children huffing and puffing on both sides. And I don't see it's been going on for decades. It's time to hold our leaders accountable. It's time to address these issues and expose the spin and the lies for what they are. And that's what I'm here for, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to help you sort through it all. Together, we are witnesses, hence the name, Emos the Witness. So join me, we're all witnesses. We're going to witness this world together. Don't kill the messenger. I only aim to bring you the facts as I see them. And if we disagree on how we see the same thing we're reading, it's time for us to sort it all out, right? Together, as partners. No one's right, no one's wrong. We just try to make sense of what this crazy country is all about. This country's wild, isn't it? A bunch of cowboys were in our office. But anyway, let's jump around, you guys. Let's look at some of the articles of the day. Let's see what some of these various news articles are telling us about their spin, their perspective. So let's see. We got a Newsmax article here. Newsmax.com is telling us this morning that per Jordan Sekulow, a Trump lawyer, is saying the Supreme Court Texas case could be the be-all, end-all, according to regarding election results. Let's take a look at this. Attorney General Ken Paxton lawsuit filed with the United States Supreme Court is the be-all, end-all case for President Trump ongoing and long-running election challenge. Trump's lawyer Jordan Sekulow said Tuesday on Newsmax magazine. Per Jordan Sekulow, the Supreme Court is not just considering what Texas has filed. They are now going to the next step, which is to say, we want a response from the states named. referring to the 4 battleground states of Pennsylvania, Georgia, Michigan, and Wisconsin. See, it's getting serious, you guys. Okay? Now, on top of this, the state of Louisiana is also joined in this lawsuit, demanding accountability for these 4 swing states for the election turnout. A lot of deception, a lot of affidavits out there, a lot of whistleblowers in Pennsylvania. You guys seen a lot of rogue judges dismissing cases based on shallow reasons, right? Semantics. You didn't file early enough. Man, this election is important. I mean, you look at I don't want to jump, but a lot of these states were really close. And for you to dismiss these claims based on semantics is very, very troubling and telling, right? So the fight continues, but you're not hearing it all. So that's my point. We're going to jump through these articles and see what the spin is and what's the truth. But here you guys, this fight's not over. The media has caught the election, but at the same time, this is going through the courts. And if it reaches the Supreme Court, there's going to be some issues. A lot of people could be surprised. So let's go to Yahoo, see what's going on at Yahoo. Yahoo is just, in my opinion, the epitome of mainstream media garbage. But let's see what they're talking about. You got to watch what's going on. Let's see here. Just some general stuff. Nikki Haley said her sister-in-law died of COVID-19. Aliens exist, and Trump almost let it slip, says the Israeli professor. See, some of this stuff is just distractions. I mean, Ivanka Trump and Jared Kush moving to Indian Creek Island. Now, see, look at this right here. White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnary appears to admit that Biden won. Let's click on this. See what this is talking about. And see what I'm trying to, the reason why I put these articles up and I find these things, because we know that the Trump administration is fighting hard to win this election. They know that there's a lot at stake besides just them maintaining power. And we haven't even got to the Georgia Senate race runoff yet. That's a very important topic. But if you look at this here, this headline, but Huffington Post, is telling you that it's trying to sow discord in the administration. It's trying to let you know that some people in Trump's administration are trying to let you know, or him know, that we think it's over, we're giving up. But, a lot of times this is just spin for you to read that headline and think that as well. And that's just one thing we've got to watch out for. Just for example, just 2 days ago, on Monday, we had all these claims and all these stories about William Barr set to resign. The man comes back the next day saying that there's no such thing. I'm going to serve my term to the end. For my president. So it's like the article is a retraction already. But when it's already written, the message is already out there. Then hey, what can you do? No one's going to go back and hear the second half. They're going to read the first half. That hey, Trump's parties are breaking up. They're leaving. It's over. But it's not. There's a lot of hard fighting going on. And let's get into it. Let's go into another. Let's check out One America. President Trump signs COVID vaccine executive order. Now let's click on this. This executive order right here is about, another display of his great leadership regarding the vaccine. Like, I mean, this is I don't want to get too much into COVID, but if you look at the timeline from the beginning of 2020 to this point, there's been some stunning breakthroughs scientifically, from therapeutics to just the overall logistics of the whole operation, the whole leadership of the whole pandemic. We can't Monday morning quarterback. But if you tell me that in January that there's going to be an estimated 2 million deaths, and we're here in December 9th and we're at almost 300,000, no death is wanted, but that's a pretty good success story, battling something that we didn't cause, that we got from a foreign country. And we're getting to China as well in the coming episodes, man, because of the economic trade war. It's a contact sport, and they've been playing kind of dirty. And when you play dirty to the point where you release a virus to slow a country down, man, I mean that's pretty scary. That's pretty much like a declaration of war. And we have Trump doing a lot of battling in that perspective when it comes to sanctions and holding China accountable economically. And I think he's done a good job foreign policy wise. I don't want to go too far into these things, but this vaccine executive order is another example where it's a pledge to make sure that all our essential workers and United States citizens receive the vaccine first before any kind of foreign assistance is provided. And that's just being responsible, holding America, keeping America first. You know, it's tough to talk about these policies because of who the firebrand leader is. But at the same time, I agree with this shit. I want the vaccine first. I want the therapeutics first. Why don't you give it to somebody else? It's common sense. I want a fucking wall. I want a stimulus check. I want $2 gas. Give me something I don't want. I mean, tell me something that he's doing that I don't want, and I'll consider it. But I gotta think, yo, besides his fucking attitude, besides his attitude or his personality, give me something. Now I'm gonna watch his. If he's continuing to be our leader, I'm gonna pay close attention to his crime and order, crime and what do you call it, crime and law, law and order, president. How he handles the crime in the inner cities and big cities going forward. Because I know he has a crime bill. I know he has a law and order stance. I just want to see how he operates that part of his policies. But other than that, though, I've been pretty satisfied with what he's done. And this is another example. I think the COVID is not exactly ran perfectly, but who can run a quarterback and who can really who can judge something like this and blame deaths on one person? But the Democrats will do that. And as I said in episode 1, they're probably the best and the greatest at deception. The Democrats do a great job in politics, way better than Republicans. And we'll get into that as well, on how a lot of Republican leaders are kind of fickle, definitely when it comes to these election challenges, which is really frustrating. But anyway, let's go to another headline. Let's go to CNN, see what they're talking about, see what their articles are always full of spin. Shout out to Mark Zucker. He's the one doing all this. But per CNN, though, we see out to get the first headline. Trump attempts to overthrow election, reaches point of no return. See, overthrow election. It's just a matter of opinion, Like I said, on December 4th, I fell asleep. Trump was leading every swing state. Pennsylvania in particular, 600,000 votes. So is he trying to overthrow the election, or is he trying to keep what's attempting to be taken from him? See, there's a lot of difference in opinion, right? It's about how you read the news, how you receive the news, and how you interpret it. Some people feel this man won the landslide if you don't count all the irregularities. So let's dig through the facts. Let's dig through the stats. I think what I'm gonna do next episode is on Target Smart. I'm gonna really show you some of the election day results and the early voting results. Malik, I'm actually going to jump over real quick to this article from CNBC. And if you see it, it's from CNBC, dated November 4th, 6:55 a.m. That's election day. My birthday, by the way. What's behind Trump's early leads in Michigan and Pennsylvania? Jeez. What? What are you telling me? You telling me that Trump had an early lead in Michigan and Pennsylvania the day of the election at 6:55 a.m.? Leading the whole day? Before you go to bed at 10 o'clock, he's up still? You wake up, he's down. But this article per CNBC, it says here clearly that he was up in early voting. And we sat there and watched all day, all night, that he was up in these states. I mean, that alone warrants an investigation. Y'all can't be absentee ballots and mail-in ballots all at once. And we've heard the claims, right? We've heard the whistleblowers. We've heard the poll watchers being threatened. We've heard about the voting systems. You mean to tell me we can't look into that just a little bit? Everything's dismissed on semantics or this and that? Don't get it twisted now. The Trump administration has filed lawsuits. Citizens of all these swing states have filed lawsuits. You got states like Louisiana and Texas contesting these swing states' reasonings, because it affects other states too when these things happen. You got Supreme Court judges like Alito ready to go to war. Then you got Justice Roberts with his political slant. So you got a lot of jousting going on. You don't know who is good, who is bad. You don't know. Look, I'm telling you, the Supreme Court is the last bastion of hope. Like I mentioned that Jay Sekulow article. If they don't take up this case or any case, I really feel we're gonna have a dark winter coming. Because what it represents that we really do have a two-tier justice system. We really do have corruption in this country. We already know about the corruption, but now it's out in the open. The double talk, the misleads, the half truths, the slanted headlines, the incoming censorship from big tech. All that's on the table. All that's at stake. In my opinion, if Joe, the cadaver Biden, becomes president, the walk-in cadaver with Botox surgery, half dead with dementia, if he ends up becoming our president, and you got Kamala Harris right behind him, second in command, we in deep shit. Got the squad around the corner, Ocasio and them waiting on you. Omar, that's the future. Pelosi's gone. Who's gonna be next in line? Yes, Pelosi's gone. When you lose that many House seats, when you lose all that state legislature, which they don't talk about, right? How do you lose all those seats and Trump's loses? How do Republicans gain in state legislature, win House seats? Like I mentioned last episode, how does he win Florida and Georgia, or Florida and was it Florida and what? I think it was Florida and Georgia, and he still lost. Well, he's still currently battling Georgia, but Ohio. I'm sorry, he won Ohio and he won Florida. But you lose in these other swing states. It just doesn't make any sense. And again, like the statistical irregularities, the experts have already pointed that out. There's way too many votes than people, way too many ballots. It doesn't make any sense. And all this is being worked through the system. Like I said, I don't want to sound like someone who is just like hanging off of hope, because like I stated, if we go through all these issues and all these concerns that's been stated by the public, and we review and it's investigated, and it still turns out that Biden is still the president-elect, then I'm fine with that. I want the country to go through a good analysis of the voter integrity and all the issues and regularities that happen in each of these states, because it's too impressive to ignore. So that's where we go right there. So that's another proof that these issues need to be looked into. So back to today's headlines, some of the articles that we're seeing going on today. If you see the Washington Post here this morning, we have the Supreme Court denies Trump's allies bids to overturn Pennsylvania election results. Well, what's this telling us? Well, if you go to SupremeCourt.com, and you look for the pending case numbers for December 8th, you will see towards the bottom, and I don't know if it's on our screen, but yeah, actually it is. But if you, it's not on the screen right now, but I'll read it up to you though. If you go to USSupremeCourt.org and you go to the pending cases for December 8th, if you scroll down, you will still see that Tuesday, December 8th, order pending case Mike Kelly versus the state of Pennsylvania. The case is still on the docket, ladies and gentlemen. But if you read every mainstream article, you would think that this case was dismissed. Let's look into it. In all actuality, the Supreme Court denied the review of the case at this time, to expedite it, but the case will still be reviewed. So there's cases going to the Supreme Court on behalf of this election. If this election goes to the Supreme Court, I'm gonna say about 70% chance that President Trump will be your president going forward for a second term, because this evidence is just mounting daily, every day, and when you look into it, they're gonna keep fighting. But the strongest case is the Texas case, because the Texas case has constitutional merit, and so does the Pennsylvania case. And regarding the Pennsylvania case, you have elected officials passing laws that are not allowed. I mean, it really belongs to the legislature, So they passed laws for this early voting that they weren't supposed to. It's unconstitutional. It affected voter integrity and compromised voting rights, and the people are suing. The state Supreme Court of Pennsylvania dropped the case, but now it's going to the Supreme Court. But it's not being reviewed right away. So just keep that in mind. There's two cases heading to the Supreme Court, one for Pennsylvania that's still there, as you see per the docket, on the US.gov, USSupremeCourt.org. And then we have the Texas case coming up, which would be very interesting because, like I said, you got Justice Alito kind of really pushing a lot of these orders. Like, he expedited the safe harbor date to the 9th, which is going to be big news today, where a lot of states can actually certify the electoral votes. You know, a lot of people are kind of focused on the January 4th date, in which Congress can actually roll call the certifications of each state. But yeah, those are two pretty important dates. And today is going to be a very important day regarding the safe harbor rule. We have Pennsylvania has to state their claims, disputes before that time. And what that is, what that symbolizes is that the Supreme Court they want to make sure that there's enough time for these cases to be heard before certification, before election, before inauguration. Now, a lot of stuff is, to people who aren't into politics might find this boring, but it really isn't, man. It's actually pretty exhilarating. It's like it's a bunch of chess moves. You see chess moves in politics all the time. You see chess moves in media all the time, and you have to sort through it. You have to figure out who's selling you shit, who's spinning you around in circles, and where did the truth lie. Sometimes you read a headline, that's not enough. Sometimes you read an article, and it's still not enough. You got to find multiple sources and see like the hidden words. And like I said, the case is still pending. If I come back tomorrow and I go to ussupremecourt.org and that case is gone, I'll apologize and we'll correct ourselves. But that's what this show is all about. Ladies and gentlemen, Emos the Witness, episode 2 of the F.I.L.L. show, The Fuck I Look Like. No more. We're going to actually review this stuff together. We're going to see what's right, and we're going to move forward, and we're going to sort out what's been happening the last 4 years, and then this whole 2020 crazy year. So yeah, there's some of the headlines going on there. Let's move on. Let's get a little deeper into some of the details of the 2020 election. Let's look at some video clips. Let's see. So who's lying, right? Who's peculating? By definition, to peculate, to steal or take dishonestly money, especially public funds or property entrusted in one's care, embezzlement. Who's peculating? Let's see, but it's not to be confused with who's percolating, right?
It's time for the
who's percolating? We know who's peculating, but who's percolating? I think, you know what, honestly, I think it's the Democrats, right? We got that video in Georgia where they were definitely peculating at that stadium. We know in Detroit they were peculating, and on that video they were percolating. When then people left, they told them to go home, water main break, boxes started popping out. Booty started popping, right? Started counting votes in the dark. People not even watching. So yeah, them Democrats is percolating and they peculating. So let's see why. I'm sure they percolating because they know that the House, they lost House seats. They lost critical Senate races coming up. It looks like they're gonna lose if they don't cheat again because they're being exposed, you know. But there are a lot of serious issues going on. Like think about the Georgia Senate race. Think about Senator David Perdue versus John Ossoff, and we got Kelly Loeffler versus Ralph Warnock. Now I'm not too concerned about the Kelly Loeffler Ralph Warnock race, but I'm just curious, why didn't David Perdue attend the debate? You know, I read a few articles and he said that he wants to take his case to the American people. But I just sat there last night and I watched some of the debate, and John Ossoff was sitting up there at the podium by himself, with no opponent, debating, someone invisible. But, you know, I just feel like the Senate race is too important. You can't just leave. You can't just not participate in this runoff, right? Are you deep state, or do you feel that, or maybe the Republicans feel like we're going to win this in the courts, so we don't need a debate? But that's dangerous when you know that if these seats go over to the Democrats, Joe Biden has an agenda that is free and fair and wide open, and that's dangerous for society. I don't think we want that. But you know, besides that, that's like a Keith or Sutherland 24 type thing. You know, you're like, who is good, who's bad? Definitely on the Republican side, you know, you got a lot of fighting. You got Ted Cruz. Like I say, he's open and down to argue the Supreme Court cases in Pennsylvania, for Pennsylvania and Texas. You know, you got people like John Ratcliffe, Jim Jordan, Matt Gaetz. Shout out to Ron DeSantis, Richard Grinnell, people at Project Veritas. There's a lot of soldiers fighting in the background. Because, you know, you got a big behemoth, right? You got mainstream media, they work with the Dems, and you got Hollywood, and you got the deep state. You got social media censorship with big tech. Those are a lot of big entities to go against. That's why you got social media now, to people here just taking stands, taking risks and chances, coming out here and speaking truth to power, trying to sort all this out. You know, like I said, I'm a witness. I could be wrong. I'm not perfect, but I know bullshit when I see it. I can't sit here and listen to jargon on the radio and on the TV and accept it for what it is. What the fuck I look like? F.I.L.L, baby, Emos to Witness, the F.I.L.L show. Episode 2, we in here, and we're here to talk about it. The fuck I look like, right? I don't know because I can say fuck on TV or on radio. Or on social media nowadays, you can say what you want to say, right? But I try to keep it clean as possible. But yeah, you know, like I said, we got some good soldiers on both sides of the aisle, but for Republicans, you got to watch out for deep state operatives like a Mitt Romney, right? Like a Ben Sass. What are they up to? They pretty quiet, right? What happened to where's Lindsey Graham? Quiet. See, the real soldiers come out to play when they know that. That's when you know people are genuine, when they're really fighting for the Constitution and the values that we want to keep instilled in this country. You know, and you know, you really gotta sort through it all, and we're gonna do it together. So like I said, we got this Pennsylvania Supreme Court case is not over yet. We have Texas and Louisiana suing these states, and they want answers. And these are the last barriers to prevent, you know, continued corruption in this country. Two-tier justice system. People just kind of, and I mean, can Congress saying and doing what they want? I mean, you know, Congress has like 131 days scheduled for this session to work. I mean, that's not even half the year. That's like a third of the year you do. I mean, do you know how much shit we've been going through for the last year? We're still waiting on a stimulus deal. And you mean to tell me you're gonna be working 131 days this coming year? I mean, it's amazing the audacity to even fucking tell us that. But you know, and I don't know. I just like feel like we just walk around aimless about it. We don't even care. A lot of people just want to move on. A lot of people just want a new leader. A lot of people really want to keep the same leader. You just can't tell. You really can't tell, but you can sense it, and you're gonna see it. Shout out to the ambulance. You're gonna see it, right? One way or the other at some point. Let these results go the other way. Let the results go in Biden's favor. I bet you're gonna see some patriotism pop out. I'm not like promoting anything, but I'm just predicting this stuff. I'm witnessing the atmosphere, the reaction, the climate. People are kind of just simmering. I mean, you see protests too, you see rallies, but people are also simmering on both sides of the aisle. What's gonna happen? Let me see. Show me first, and we're gonna go the fuck off. Because the country is too important for the country. It's not about the leadership anymore. It's about voter integrity. It's about values and principles. It's about what we want our future to look like. And I'm down to accept either way, as long as we have a fair review of what the hell happened. But let's move on. You know, because there's a lot at stake right now. There's a lot of things going on. So, I mean, I just don't know. I mean, just thinking about, like I was saying earlier, I mean, there's a lot of new leadership coming on. Are they ready? Democratic Party's young. If you think about it, I mean, it's been ran by the Clinton administration for like the Clinton machine for about, what, 30 years? How long these motherfuckers been around, man? Biden been around for 80 years. He's a damn vampire. Then you got Clinton. I remember Clinton back in the day, you playing the sax. I voted for him, so that's like 20-something years ago. The motherfuckers are still around in the background doing their dirt. We'll get into that too, man. But there's so much. It's only episode 2. And we're just scratching the surface. There's so much shit to provide. We gotta create a storyline, a timeline of what the hell's been going on. I don't want nobody going into next year frustrated. I don't want nobody going into 2021, like 2016, thinking Hillary Clinton was gonna be president. And they woke up and saw Trump landslide and they were surprised by it. And they joined in on the anything it takes to get back power campaign, no matter how many lies and truths that we spilled to the world. And that's what happened. That's what's going on right now, in my opinion, from what I've been witnessing. Prove me wrong, you know? But remember, we're witnesses. I'm going to let the stats, I'm going to let the articles tell you what it is. And we'll go from there. Gotta keep saying that, y'all, because I don't want y'all attacking me, so. What else is going on, you guys? Remember, like, you know, I said, this election is very close. And we got to make sure we do what we can to to do our part to make sure that we keep fighting back America. We make sense of it all, you know. But I really appreciate you guys spending time with me. You know, I wanted to come here for episode 2 and really let you know that I'm in your corner. I'm not someone who wants to divide America. I'm somebody who wants to kind of bridge us back together and bring us back to focus on what we need to do. So I'm gonna get up out of here. You go. This is my time. Before I go, though, I'm gonna leave with a little tidbit, and I'm gonna keep it all on politics every episode. I want to add some brevity to some light to the world. So this athlete of the day, shout out to my man Donovan Lewis, out of Kalamazoo, Michigan, former basketball player. You know, Michigan's a weird state, but let's check this out. Check out this clip.
I am Mac. Donovan Lewis is in jail awaiting trial on first-degree murder charges.
It was very likely that he'd end up sentenced to life in prison.
But will he make it to trial? It's the afternoon of September 19th, just days before his court date, and Donovan is outside in the jail's recreation yard.
Oh, okay.
They get 30 minutes a day, and the guards are watching.
Despite that, the former basketball star
gone.
makes
Look
a
at him.
sudden run for the fence.
Athletic.
He scales the fence, jumps to barbed wire, and gets out of the yard.
Damn, you see that
without a
fence?
stretch.
I'm not
big
aware
ass
of
fence.
anybody going over that fence in the 30 years that I've practiced criminal law here in Kalamazoo until Donovan
30 years.
Lewis did it. It was pretty mind-blowing what he did.
Damn, look at that. Look at them
It
little prison
was
shoes.
a
Gone. Look at
spur of
them.
the moment display of
Get him off and get it.
athleticism that nobody.
That's amazing. And you leave that shit. Hooper. Did you clear that? You see that fence? Cleared that fence on that barbed wire? I mean, shit. I think he got locked up for killing his girlfriend. Some got life or something. That don't fucking matter. It's about the athleticism. That's what I'm talking about, America. Shout out to my man Donovan Lewis. Athlete of the week, y'all. I'm out. Emos to win this. Y'all check me out on YouTube, Spotify, Wave 1 Radio. Like my page, subscribe to my page. I'll see y'all Friday. Y'all have a great week. Take care.